Osiris himself, Oded Fehr, is with us today to talk about Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris. Now, you may remember him from the Mummy and Resident Evil movie franchises, as well as TV shows like 24 Legacy and Once Upon a Time. He also has a rich voice acting resume with many animated shows from Justice League to Kaijudo and Batman Unlimited. Thank you for joining us today, Oded. He's currently traveling back in LA where the wildfires are, and so thank you very much for taking your time.
Not at all. I'm sorry if you're hearing car noises and so on as I'm driving, but yes, not at all. I'm happy to talk.
Thank you. So your last bit of voice acting in a video game was all the way back in 2004 with Champions of Norath, Realms of EverQuest. You've done lots of animated shows since then, but what brought you back to video games voice acting with Destiny 2 after so long?
Work that I do is it's not the main thing I do in my career. I do a lot of television and some films and so on. The voiceover work is kind of sparse and there when I can get it and when I enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And Destiny approached me. I think they had my voice as a vision for this character of Osiris, and I was delighted to do it. The thing about Destiny 1, my son is 14, turning 15 now, and absolutely in love with the game, has been playing, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 now, and he is thrilled and excited about the new release and the character of Osiris and me playing it and all the rest of it. Made me the coolest dad in the world.
I bet.
But for me, my special connection with Bungie is the fact that I used to play Marathon. I don't know if you know the game Marathon, but it was I played it on the Mac platform years and years and years and years ago. With a friend of mine. I actually have a picture of me and a friend of mine, both of us with the Apple, I think it was a G4, the Mac G4, and the computer's connected via Ethernet cable, and we're sitting there. I'm dressed as the guy from the Mummy, as Artist Bay, and we're playing the game together. So it goes all the way back to, I think it was 98.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. For those that aren't familiar, Marathon predated Halo.
Connected in relationship with Bungie, yeah, exactly. Predating Halo.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, it sounds like you were actually pretty familiar with Destiny prior to Curse of Osiris with your son then.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I didn't actually know the game Destiny. I have 3 children now and work and so on, and
right.
Don't have as much time to play video games anymore. But I know Destiny from my son,
mm-hmm.
And then kind of put it 2 and 2 together that Destiny is Bungie and Bungie is Marathon and so on and so forth.
Okay, yeah, my son is 15 as well, and that Destiny is pretty much his top franchise to play.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. I guess since it's been so long since you last did video game voice acting, are there any major changes you've noticed in that time? From your work in 2004 to I guess this year.
That would be an unfair comparison because to be totally frank with you, I can't remember enough of the 2004 work. All I can tell you is that this game, the character itself is hugely cool, and the character of Osiris, and they've been pretty darn awesome at letting me kind of try to give him a little bit more character and throw in there kind of a lot more emotions and character. So it was fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things I'll be honest, I enjoyed your Osiris performance. And one of the things I really enjoyed was the kind of range of the inflections and tones you put into the voice work. So what was your base to kind of establish that the character of Osiris and work with Bungie on further developing them?
Well, I sat down with the director, and he was very good about kind of trying to find ways that we can, bring more of the character to life. He told me, the backstory and, as much as they developed on the character, and was very good at allowing me to kind of work together and bring that more to life, because sometimes it's not about your Osiris's character. It's more about, getting the gamer to move forward or do something or
right.
Press on the ticking clock. But when we had opportunities, he helped me kind of give it a lot more of that. The Osiris character, it's obviously set in the future, but I tried to draw in from all different kind of my past experiences and things like that. Like Osiris is the name Osiris obviously is the Egyptian god and all the rest of it. So kind of maybe give it a little bit of a flair. There's not really a Middle Eastern accent there or anything different from my accent, but just to give it that kind of weight, But it's more the fact that, the character has been so secluded and traveled between, the two sides and so on and so forth. That was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah, because Destiny actually has a pretty deep and crazy and ever-expanding kind of space magic lore behind it. I mean, how was preparing for that for the role?
That I have to say is kind of more laid on the writer's shoulders a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be lying to you if I didn't say that for me, not having played the game as much, it sometimes got a little confusing. But then they would explain to me what exactly is going on and so on.
Right.
That's a lot more the writer's responsibility than it is mine. I'm just lucky to be, kind of explain what the situation is and then try and share that through my voice.
Okay. Did they share any like a lore Bible with you or anything?
They kind of told me, yes. I mean, they did. Yeah, they told me as much information as they themselves know. By the way, I have to give kudos to my son here because my son has been with me kind of from the beginning with this because he's so excited about it.
Yeah.
And he, had to promise that he will not share one bit of information with anybody. And my poor son, I cannot even tell you how difficult it was for him to keep his mouth shut about the fact that I'm in this and that it's about Osiris and what happens during it and all the rest of it. And he was incredible, and he never said a word to anybody. And I really, that was a pretty tough thing. You can imagine he's walking around and his friends are talking about the fact that this Osiris thing is coming out, and he can't mention the fact that it's his actual dad that did the voice. So that was fun.
Were you like sharing inside information with him going through the process?
Well, he was carrying a lot more information than me because he obviously plays the game and knows it so well. So there was a lot more, that he knew than me even, Okay. Every once in a while I would have to go like, so what, I see,
Osiris is kind of an arrogant character, but it comes across as kind of a weathered arrogance, someone who's, sacrificed and been worn down by years of chasing a impossible goal. Can you speak towards taking the character on from that standpoint?
I think the arrogance comes, and that's always, the thing that is most interesting for me is what's the motivation of anybody, whether it's a good guy or a bad guy, what is the motivation? And even if he's an understood, not an understood character, meaning, all the characters around him disagree with him or hate him or whatever it is, he has to have very strong motivation to why he's doing what he's doing. So when you're saying arrogant, I think as far as he's concerned, he's not arrogant. As far as he's concerned, he is short because he doesn't have time to waste trying to explain things to people who can't understand what's happening,
Right.
So it obviously seems like arrogant, but he is trying to do the right thing and save humanity, That motivation that I think is so interesting, and hopefully I was able to kind of display that a little.
So, I mean, how much time, or I guess, when did you start working on Curse of Osiris? And then how much time?
It was at least a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and I've been in, 4 to 5, maybe 6 sessions, something like that. And I'm very excited because I think they plan to continue with this character in the future, which is a lot of fun for me because I do love doing the voiceover work when I can do it. It's such a wonderful way of storytelling, and it's pretty amazing that you could do it nowadays on these video games.
What do you enjoy about voice acting over TV or even movie work?
You know, I was classically trained at the Old Vic Theatre School in England, and doing voice work is a big part of being an actor. Meaning not just doing voiceover work, but actually using your voice to tell your story. You know, it's a big part of my training. I used to sit. We used to sit in front of our teacher on a three-legged stool, you know, with a good posture and reading children's stories in order to be able to release the voice and be able to get great inflections and so on. Doing voiceover work is all of that. Telling a story just by your voice. Of course, they're adding a character on top of it later on. It's a wonderful art form that I just am loving and enjoying.
What was it? I think Justice League was one of the first voiceover work you did that I could see on your resume. I mean, how did you just kind of?
I think the first thing that I've done was a Scooby-Doo movie, something, I think. And then I did Justice League. Since then, I've done quite a bit of stuff.
Right. It seemed like it wasn't that long after the movie that you had that.
No, I've been doing it since I've started my career in California. I think I've been here since '99, and I think pretty soon afterwards I started doing it. It's been really a lot of fun. Listen, anytime you get to act and you don't have to put makeup on or a costume or necessarily, remember your lines by heart, meaning you have to prepare obviously for voiceover, but your lines are in front of you, so you don't have to memorize the lines. I mean, that's a gift unto itself, But besides that, it's that thing of using your imagination and telling the story.
Yeah, but you must do any stunts in those though. You can't do stunts in voice acting.
No, you cannot do stunts in voice acting, but you do have to remember I'm 47 years old. I'm becoming somewhat of an older man,
Fair enough.
A nice, comfortable chair could be important. I'm just joking. I'm not that old. It's not that bad.
Well, do you have anything you'd like to say to the Destiny community out there and the fans of Osiris?
Nothing. I'm just happy to be joining the Destiny community and the fans of Osiris, and I hope they all love it and enjoy it, and I look forward to doing some more stuff in the future. Yeah.
So where should fans expect to see or hear from you next?
I'm working on a project right now that I'm not at liberty to talk about, but yes, I'm working on a project right now, and which is going to be a lot of fun, and look out for more voiceovers and things like that.
Awesome. Well, Oded, thank you very much for your time today, especially I know out there with the wildfires, and I hope you and your family stay safe along with everyone else out in Los Angeles, and I'd like to wish you continued success in your career.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.